When she knocked on my door that Sunday evening, it felt like the world paused just long enough for me to feel everything I had spent a week trying to bury. Her name still lingered in my chest like a wound that refused to close. Emily. 7 days earlier, she had left, saying she needed space. Space from me, from us, from the life we had built together for almost 5 years. Now she was back, standing there with trembling hands and hopeful eyes. The same eyes that once promised forever, but had recently learned the art of lying. I didn't move. I didn't even open the door fully. I just looked at her, waiting for her to say something that could explain why she was here now. After silence, after distance, after the kind of pain that doesn't fade with time. "Hey!" she whispered, her voice almost breaking. "You look different. Different. That's what happens when you spend a week alone with the echo of betrayal. You stop recognizing yourself." I finally opened the door wider, motioning her inside. The house still carried traces of her. A mug on the counter, her scarf on the sofa's arm, the faint scent of her perfume mixing with the cold air. It felt like she had never truly left, and yet everything inside me screamed that she had. She sat down on the couch, nervously twisting her fingers. "I thought about you every single day," she said. "I just needed to figure out my feelings." I studied her face. I used to love that face. Now it looked like a stranger wearing Emily's skin. "And?" I asked quietly. She hesitated, searching for words. "And I realized I can't lose you, Ryan. I made a mistake." Her words should have softened me. They used to. But all I could remember was that message. The one I had found on her phone the night before she left. A man's name I didn't know. Words that didn't belong between friends. Words that tasted like betrayal. "You realized that now?" I asked, voice calm but heavy. "After a week apart?" Her eyes darted away. "It wasn't what you think." That line again. It's funny how liars believe those words have power. "Then what was it, Emily?" Because from where I stood, it looked like you'd already made your choice. Tears gathered in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were for me or for the guilt she carried. She reached for my hand, and instinctively, I stepped back. Her fingers froze in the air, suspended between what we used to be and what we had become. "I love you, Ryan," she said, her voice trembling. "Please, can we just talk? Please." For a long moment, I didn't respond. I looked at her, really looked. The girl I once trusted with everything was right in front of me. But she wasn't the same, and neither was I. Finally, I sat across from her, folding my hands together. "You want to talk? Fine. Tell me one thing. Why now?" She blinked. "What do you mean? Why come back now?" I said, leaning forward. "When I needed answers, you left. When I called, you didn't pick up. When I begged for honesty, you gave me silence. So why now?" Her lip quivered. "Because I realized what I was about to lose." I let out a slow breath. "You didn't realize it, Emily. You lost it. You lost me the moment you decided I wasn't enough." Her tears finally fell, and for a second, I almost felt sorry for her. But pain changes people. It turns sympathy into distance, love into memory. I stood up, moving toward the window, watching the sky fade into a soft orange dusk. She used to love sunsets. Now even that felt different. Behind me, I heard her whisper, "Can we start over?" I didn't turn around. "You can start over, Emily." I already did. Her silence stretched through the room like a ghost, quiet, heavy, lingering in all the places where our laughter once lived. I heard her sniff softly, trying to hide it, but the sound broke through anyway. "Ryan," she whispered, "please don't do this. I know I hurt you, but I swear it didn't mean anything." I turned from the window and finally faced her. "It never does it? Not until you get caught." Her lips parted like she wanted to argue, but there was nothing left to defend. She looked small, almost fragile, the kind of fragile that comes from guilt, not innocence. "You think I don't know what happened?" I asked. "I didn't need to see everything. That one text was enough." Her eyes widened, a silent confession. "I wasn't thinking straight," she said. "It was just, I felt like you were distant, like you didn't care anymore." That line hit me harder than I expected. Not because it was true, but because it was exactly what I had told myself when she started drifting away. I had felt her absence long before she packed her bags. "So you found comfort in someone else?" I asked. "That's how love works for you?" She shook her head desperately. "No, it wasn't love, it was confusion. I thought maybe." I raised a hand to stop her. Don't dress it up in words that make it easier to swallow." She looked down, defeated. The ticking clock on the wall became the only sound in the room. Each second felt like a small reminder of everything we couldn't fix. When I finally spoke again, my voice was steady. "You know, I spent that whole week trying to hate you. I thought if I focused on the anger, it would erase everything else. But it didn't. I still remembered how you laughed when you were nervous. How you'd hum in the kitchen when you thought I wasn't listening. I remembered all of it, Emily." Her eyes met mine, searching for something that might still be there. "Then there's still hope," she said softly. I shook my head. "No, there's just memory. And memories aren't love. They're just ghosts pretending to be it." She bit her lip, trying not to cry again. "So that's it? You're just walking away?" "I already did," I said. "The day you walked out that door, I followed right after you, just in a different way." I could see the weight of those words land on her. She stood up slowly, looking around the house like it was her first time seeing it. Maybe in a way it was. The photos on the wall, the half-burned candles, the little reminders of us. They all looked like artifacts now, not memories. She walked toward the door, then stopped, her hand on the knob. "I don't expect forgiveness," she said quietly. "But for what it's worth, I never stopped loving you." I let the silence answer her. Some truths don't need sound. She opened the door, paused once more as if waiting for me to stop her, then stepped out into the evening. The sound of her footsteps fading away felt final, like the last page of a book closing itself. I stood there for a long time just listening to the quiet. There was no anger left, no rage, no heartbreak, only stillness. And maybe that was peace. Later that night, I sat at the same kitchen table where we'd shared countless breakfasts and late-night talks. The mug she used still sat there, untouched. I picked it up, looked at the faint lipstick stain on the rim, and smiled faintly. Not out of love, but out of understanding. Some endings don't come with shouting or tears. They come with quiet acceptance. The kind that arrives when you realize you can't go back to what broke you. I walked to the window again. The night sky stretched endlessly above, clean and open. Somewhere out there, she was beginning again. So was I. I whispered into the empty room, more to myself than anyone else. Sometimes, the hardest part of letting go is realizing you already did.